What are these kinds of cells? Sure, you know a tube inside your body, which is called the trachea. The trachea is running from the nose until it reaches the lung. This trachea, we are going to take the details for it later with the respiratory system, but you have to know here that this, the wall of the trachea, it has a special kind of cells which is called ciliated cell, and another cell which is called goblet cells. They are normal cells, by the way. They do have nucleus, organelles, and everything. But this cell, which is called ciliated cell, it has cilia. These cilia they are flaps of muscles. They move back and forth. What for? We will say now. And this kind of cell, we can call it goblet cells or mucus secreting cells. And they are called so because they secrete mucus. What is mucus? What comes out of your nose? Sticky fluid كده. They are lining the whole track along the trachea. If you're going to breathe in air, and this air, it contains dust or bacteria, this dust and bacteria will be sticking to the mucus that the goblet cells are going to produce. And the ciliated cells are going to move back and forth in order to force this bacteria and dust to go with the mucus out of your throat, and you start to cough. Even if you're going to cough without mucus, this will force the dust and the bacteria to go out of the trachea and doesn't reach the trachea or windpipe, and it won't reach the lungs, so it will not cause damage for the lungs. And these are the other types of cells, of specialized cells, that we're going to talk about. We do have also here another kind of cells, which are the gamete cells. What are the gamete cells? What do I mean by gamete cells? Gamete cells, it means haploid cells. What do I mean by haploid cells? I mean in the male, the sperm cell, and in the female, the ovum or the egg cell. Your body cells, they contain 46 chromosomes. What do I mean by 46 chromosomes? The DNA is divided into pieces in the human beings. Every cell, it contains 46 pieces, which are called 46 chromosomes. Fine. Like the sperm cell and the ovum cell, they do have half. It means half number of these chromosomes. So here 23 and here 23 chromosomes. If they are going to join together during fertilization, they will form the first cell of the baby, which is a diploid cell. What do I mean by the word diploid cell? Yani cell containing double number of chromosomes compared with the sperm and the egg cell. Okay, and they will form the first cell of the baby that will grow after this stages, but reproduction that we're going to take. Okay, and they will form the baby. Like, what other differences between the sperm and the ovum cell? Male can produce millions of cells or large number of cells in the one time, while female, majority of them, they produce only one egg cell or ovum cell every 28 days. Here I'm talking about majority of the females. I'm not talking about twins, or I'm not talking about some of cases. I'm talking about majority. So every 28 days, one of the ovaries, they produce one egg cell. And one ovary is going to work this month, and coming month it will take vacation, and the other one will work coming month, and this month it takes a vacation. About the size, this is how the sperm it looks like. Its size is really small, while the size of the ovum cell is really large. So if I'm going to compare their sizes together, if this is the size of the ovum cell, this will be the size of the sperm cell. Fine. Right. Also, sperm is motile. I mean, it can move from a location to another, while the egg cells, no, they cannot move by themselves. Also, here in the meat piece, they contain large number of mitochondria. So it would provide the whole cell with the energy it needs for the sperm cell to swim and move inside the human's uterus. Okay. Let us go to another kind of cells which are found in the animal cell, and they are specialized to perform specific function. Let us go to another kind of cell which is called the nerve cell, الأعصاب. So they are nerve cells. They do have another name which is called neuron. Okay. Inside your body, there are three types of neurons. Now we are going to take one type of them, is called the motor neuron. The other two types, we will take them with the nervous system topic. The motor neuron, it looks like this. It's a normal cell, by the way, started to extend itself to form something which is called the axon. This is nucleus. All of this is cytoplasm and organelles. Normally, they do have things like hair كده, which are called dendrites. These are called dendrites. And the axon or their body is surrounded by a fatty layer. Okay. This fatty layer, it has a name which is called myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. What is the function of the neuron? Neuron moves along it in this type of neuron from the head downwards, electrical impulses. So electrical impulses, it's like electricity. They move along this neuron to connect it to a muscle or a gland to do its effect or its function. Okay, these fatty layers, they will work as insulator to prevent the electrical impulses from deviating or going to other place other than the target, which is going to reach at the end, which is the end of the neuron. Okay, so what about the dendrites? They connect neurons together. So, for example, as if you do have two wires and you need to connect them together. So you will take the end of from a wire and another end and join them together. So this is the idea for them. Okay. Right now, we took red blood cells, we took the sperm and the egg cell, we took ciliated cells and goblet cells, and also we took the nerve cells. Until we reach the other topics and take the rest of the specialized cells, now we are going to move to also the cells which are specialized inside plants to perform a specific function, to do certain function. Okay? One of these cells One of these cells in plants, now we are talking about plants. One of these cells is called the one that we took it with the normal plant cell. This is the palisade cell. The palisade cell, which is the original plant cell, it looks like this. But it has one adaptation. Of course, this is cell wall, and the thin thing is cell membrane. It has a nucleus, and it has large vacuole. It has chloroplast and other organelles. But let us see what is the adaptation for this palisade cells. The adaptation is that on a sunny day, this large vacuole is going to be removing the water out of it. So it will shrink inside, and this will allow the chloroplast to go away from the cell membrane. So by this, they are protecting themselves from the very high light intensity around the cell. But what if I'm talking about day doesn't have enough light, dim day, no sunlight to do photosynthesis? At this point, the large vacuole will be filled with fluids, with cell sap a lot, okay? And it will be filling with the sap, the fluid inside it. And this will make the chloroplast be pushed by it. It will be larger. So it will push the chloroplasts to be near the cell membrane, trying to take as maximum as sunlight as possible. They are trying to take as much sunlight as they can do. Okay? Fine? تمام. So this is related to the palisade cell and its adaptation. Let us move to other type of cell, which is called root hair cells. I'm not talking about your hair, by the way. I'm talking about a special kind of cells. They look like this. Okay, they are normal plant cells, but the adaptation or they are specialized by having an extra projection, which is called finger like projection. This finger like projection, it increases the surface area. So by this, they do have extra space so they can penetrate more inside the soil to absorb more water and minerals. More water and minerals. And this is the main function of the root hair cells. Also, the second adaptation is that the cell wall, they do have thinner cell wall than the other plant cells. So the cell wall for them is thinner. They do have thinner cell wall than other cells so that water and minerals can go inside easily. What are minerals? Minerals, they like calcium, iron, potassium, chloride ions, sodium ions, potassium ions. They are found in the periodic table. Only elements. The plant need them in order to take their to form substances and nutrients inside them. Also, of course, it has here a nucleus and they do have a large vacuole. The large vacuole of the root hair cells are concentrated. What do I mean by concentrated? مركزة, salty kind of. And this will make the cell feel thirsty all the time. But we cannot use this term, huh? So it feels that it is thirsty all the time, and this will help the water to rush inside faster. And also this helps the cell to absorb as maximum water as possible. Also, they do have large number of mitochondria, and these mitochondria are going to provide them with energy, and this energy is really helpful that it will force minerals to go inside more and more. We will take the explanation for the entrance of minerals in full details, not يعني after the third session from now. Okay, طب all of these functions are related to its function, which is absorption of water and minerals more. طب what about another function, which is, or sorry, adaptation, which is that root hair cells, they don't have chloroplasts. But this doesn't help in its function. It's only because they are found underground, no sunlight. So they do not need chloroplasts because already they cannot do photosynthesis. So again, if in the question he's going to ask you, I need adaptation, but this adaptation is related to the function of the cell, you can mention any of these four adaptations, and their function is to increase the absorption of water and minerals. But you cannot say that because they don't have a chloroplast, because not having a chloroplast is adaptation, but it will not serve it or help it in its function. Let us move to another kind of cells, or let us say that they are tissues which are also found in the plant. Which are helping the plant to do a specific function.